Hello and welcome to the Quiver channel. And I want to make something absolutely clear at the start of this video. I am not a racist person. I am not someone who judges people based on their ethnicity, background, class. I judge people on how they act with me or verified facts. And we've got to talk about something here. And that is immigrants into this country. Now, the vast majority of immigrants into the UK are hardworking people who want a chance at a new life. I have many people who live close to me who fulfill that role, who are hard workers, and they love their families, and they are genuinely nice people. That is the majority. But there is minorities, and the minorities spoil it for a lot of people. We've seen a lot of talk about grooming gangs and that, and a lot of them are not people who originated here, let's put it that way. And the problem is with the political landscape over the last 3 to 5 years, it's been, if a person does these things, you can't mention their race, you can't mention that they were immigrants and that, because the government doesn't want people to start hating all immigrants, and that's reasonable, but it also means there has been a cover drawn over a massive amount, which has caused a lot of the UK to mistrust, and it's had the adverse reaction of being a really bad thing. The simple fact is that there are people, and there are parts of Muslims, and these are extremists. Remember, these are extremists. These are not your normal Muslims. These are not your Muslims who just live down your street, who want to just look after their family and have a life and enjoy themselves. And one of the reasons they came here is because they didn't want all the extremism and that. But there are minorities that their whole idea is to take over the UK. And the way they do this, and this is well documented sadly, the idea is basically to impregnate as many females in the UK as possible. Their idea being that the children born will be Muslim, will be taught the right faith. And so this is where the idea, pardon me, where grooming gangs and that come from. It isn't about sex, it isn't about a kink, it isn't about anything like that. These are not what you would class as normal, even though that's a bit of the normal style scales of paedophiles. These are people who will calculate and go after young girls in their teens. They will groom them. They will want to get them pregnant. They will isolate them from their family. And then when they're trapped with these people, they are basically a baby making machine. They're married off to one of their people and so on. It's very horrible. And the problem is because we don't like to talk about it because it doesn't get reported on it as being a Muslim thing, which it isn't the normal Muslim thing. It horrifies them as much as it does anybody else. This is an extremist, no different than a terrorist group. They're just attacking the country in a different way. They think that if they can infiltrate the entire country, that they create little nexuses of Sharia law, and they can basically co-opt and groom young girls into this, that they can take over the country within. It's very like, in a different way, the way Russia works. There's very interesting videos out there explaining how Russia's system of attacking a country doesn't. War is the last option. Usually they'll buy places off, they'll coerce people, they'll sow dissent, they'll take over radical movements, all that kind of thing. Well, we've got to remember this is an attack on the sovereignty of the UK. This is an attack on the UK as a whole, our identity and everything else. Not only is it a horrific crime as just classing it as basing it on these people taking away these children's and young girls' innocence. That's horrific enough as it is. But you add the idea of why are they doing it, what they're trying to bring about. That's some fucked up shit. And we need to have a very harsh stance against this. And this isn't about. We don't need to stop immigration. Immigration is the lifeblood. We do need immigrants in this country. We don't have enough people to do all that the kind of jobs that they will do in that. I'm sorry, we don't. A lot of our nurses and that, so on, are immigrants. But we need to differentiate, because believe fucking me, the UK community of Muslims that came here so radicalization didn't happen. They came here to get away from all that. They're not the enemy. They never will be. They want to live here. They want to work here. They want to be part of the solution. So instead of going down this fucking road of binary thinking, which you can't do, the binary thinking doesn't work in it. You need to bring them on board. You need to try to deal with this at the ground roots. And there needs to be trust. It's the only way we're going to do it. But believe me, the normal average Muslim parent cares about their children, loves their children, loves being in the UK away from all the war and the fighting and the radicalisation. They love being in a country where their daughters don't get stoned for speaking out. They love being in a country where their daughters can get jobs and make a life for themselves. Any parent, doesn't matter religion, wants that. So, and we can't fight this from the outside in on our own. Just not possible to fight it from the outside in. We need these members of society. And yeah, I've seen it myself. I live in a very multicultural area. And even though I'm autistic and I don't leave my garden much and I don't go out much, and I've seen enough of my local area to know that there's some really good people here. No matter what religion they follow, no matter what their beliefs, they are good people and they care about their children and they care about area. Used to have a Pakistani couple that lived one door over and used to bring curries round. Whenever they did curries, they were always apologising for the smell of the curries and the beautiful smell. Oh yeah, they were beautiful. That we could always tell the kind of curries they made. It made gorgeous stuff. And then they would bring round curries to Trevor and to me. It was lovely. We were part of a community. So while what is happening is horrific, and we need more light shining on it, and the police need to stand up and the government needs to stand up and say, yes, this is happening. But the only way we're going to deal with it is if we bring the Muslim community and the people in the area in on it to stop it happening, to weed these people out. So this is my thoughts on it. Jason, the Quebber channel.